25 insane facts about Los Angeles you never knew. Number 1 will blow your mind. Number 25. When Spanish settlers founded Los Angeles in 1781, they gave it a name so long it barely fits on a page: El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles del Rio Porciúncula, meaning the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels of the Porciúncula River. Over time, everyone just gave up and shortened it to LA. Number 24. Greater Los Angeles has roughly 6.5 million registered vehicles, giving it one of the highest car-to-person ratios of any major city on Earth. Some neighborhoods have more parked cars than residents. The city was essentially designed around the automobile, and its sprawling freeway system covers over 1,000 lane miles, yet somehow still manages to be gridlocked nearly every single day. Number 23. Before it became the entertainment capital of the world, Hollywood was founded in 1887 as a conservative, alcohol-free community by a Kansas prohibitionist named Harvey Wilcox and his wife Deida. They envisioned a quiet Christian utopia. Saloons were banned, and residents had to sign temperance pledges. Within 2 decades, the film industry arrived and turned their pious little settlement into the exact opposite of everything they had planned. Number 22. When it was erected in 1923, the iconic hillside sign did not read Hollywood. It spelled out Hollywoodland, and it was nothing more than a real estate advertisement for a new housing development. Each letter stood 50 feet tall and was illuminated by 4,000 light bulbs. The sign was only supposed to last 18 months, but it became so famous that the city eventually removed the last 4 letters and kept it permanently. Number 21. The greater Los Angeles area experiences roughly 10,000 earthquakes per year, which averages out to about 27 per day. The vast majority are too small to feel, but the constant seismic activity is a reminder that the city sits directly on top of several major fault lines. The San Andreas Fault alone is overdue for a massive rupture that scientists say could devastate the entire region. Number 20. In 1905, developer Abbott Kinney spent a fortune constructing an elaborate system of canals in the wetlands south of Santa Monica, complete with gondolas imported from Italy and Renaissance-style architecture. His dream was to build an exact cultural replica of Venice, Italy, on the California coast. Most of the canals were paved over in the 1920s to make room for cars, but a small section survives as a quirky residential neighborhood. Number 19. Right in the middle of urban Los Angeles, natural asphalt has been bubbling up from underground for over 50,000 years. The La Brea tar pits have preserved the bones of saber-toothed cats, mammoths, and dire wolves, creating one of the most important Ice Age fossil sites on the planet. The tar is still active, and birds and insects continue to get trapped in the sticky pools to this day. Number 18. Before the freeways took over, Los Angeles operated the Pacific Electric Railway, the largest electric streetcar network ever built. Over 1,000 miles of track connected the entire region, from the mountains to the beach. The system was systematically dismantled in the 1950s, and conspiracy theories still persist that automobile and oil companies deliberately destroyed it to force Angelenos into buying cars. Number 17. Since it opened in 1935, the Griffith Observatory has never charged admission. Philanthropist Griffith J. Griffith donated the funds specifically so that everyone, regardless of income, could look through a telescope and see the stars. Over 80 million people have visited since opening day, making it the most visited public observatory anywhere in the world, and it remains completely free to this day. Number 16. LA generates roughly 12 million tons of waste per year, making it one of the single largest producers of garbage in the world. The Puente Hills landfill, which operated until 2013, grew so massive over its 56-year lifespan that it became one of the tallest man-made structures in the entire state, rising over 500 feet above the surrounding landscape like a mountain made entirely of trash. Number 15. Between 1921 and 1954, Italian immigrant Simon Radia single-handedly constructed a cluster of 17 interconnected sculptural towers in his backyard in Watts, using nothing but steel pipes, wire mesh, and broken pieces of pottery, glass, and seashells. The tallest tower reaches nearly 100 feet. Radia had no formal training, used no bolts or welds, and never explained why he built them. Number 14. Los Angeles is essentially a desert metropolis that should not be able to support 4 million people. The city survives by importing the vast majority of its water through massive aqueducts stretching hundreds of miles to the Owens Valley, the Colorado River, and Northern California. The construction of the original LA Aqueduct in 1913 involved what many historians describe as one of the greatest water heists in American history. Number 13. Before Dodger Stadium was constructed in the early 1960s, the land it sits on was home to Chavez Ravine, a tight-knit Mexican-American community of over 1,000 families. Residents were forcibly evicted from their homes through eminent domain, and some had to be physically carried out by police. Their houses were bulldozed to build a baseball stadium. The controversy remains one of the most painful chapters in LA history. Number 12. The Hollywood Walk of Fame contains over 2,700 stars, but getting one is not simply about being famous. A nomination must be submitted, the celebrity must agree, and a sponsorship fee of roughly $75,000 must be paid, usually by the star's studio, record label, or fan club. Some major celebrities have declined or simply never been nominated, which is why certain legendary names are still missing from the sidewalk. Number 11. A famous mountain lion known as P22 lived for over a decade in the small habitat of Griffith Park, completely surrounded by some of the busiest freeways in the world. Scientists were baffled by how he crossed the 405 and 101 freeways to get there, a journey so dangerous it was considered nearly impossible. His story became a global symbol for urban wildlife conservation before his death in 2022. Number 10. In the 1940s and 1950s, Los Angeles was plagued by air pollution so severe that thick toxic smog blanketed the city for days at a time, reducing visibility to just 3 blocks. During the worst episodes, hundreds of people, especially the elderly and those with respiratory conditions, died from the effects. The crisis eventually led to the creation of some of the strictest air quality regulations in the world. Number 9. Most people do not realize that Los Angeles sits directly on top of one of the largest urban oil fields ever discovered. The city was once covered in thousands of oil derricks, and even today, active drilling operations continue in some of the most unexpected places, including disguised inside ordinary-looking buildings, shopping centers, and even behind the facades of fake office towers throughout the city. Number 8. The San Andreas Fault runs dangerously close to Los Angeles, and seismologists have warned that a major earthquake of magnitude 7.8 or higher is not a matter of if but when. Computer models predict such an event could kill nearly 2,000 people, injure over 50,000, cause fires across the entire basin, and inflict over $200 billion in damage. Scientists call it the big one, and LA is not ready for it. Number 7. Before LAX became one of the busiest airports in the world, the land it occupies was home to a small beach community called Surf Ridge. The neighborhood had houses, streets, a school, and ocean views. It was completely demolished in the 1960s and 1970s to make room for airport expansion. Today, nothing remains except crumbling streets and empty lots hidden behind security fences that most travelers never see. Number 6. The Los Angeles River flows for 51 miles through the city, but for most of its length it looks nothing like a natural river. After catastrophic floods in the 1930s killed over 100 people, the Army Corps of Engineers encased nearly the entire river in concrete, turning it into a giant drainage channel. It became so desolate that Hollywood has used it as a filming location for post-apocalyptic wastelands and car chases ever since. Number 5. Beneath the streets of downtown Los Angeles lies a network of Prohibition-era tunnels that once connected speakeasies, hotels, and government buildings. During the 1920s and 1930s, city officials and Hollywood celebrities used these passages to drink illegally without being seen entering a bar. Many of the tunnels still exist today, sealed behind locked doors in the basements of some of LA's oldest and most famous buildings. Number 4. In 2015, the city dumped 96 million black plastic shade balls into the Los Angeles reservoir. The balls were designed to block sunlight from triggering a dangerous chemical reaction between the chlorine in treated water and natural bromide, which can produce a cancer-causing compound. The sight of an entire reservoir blanketed in black spheres became one of the most surreal and widely shared images in recent LA history. Number 3. The destruction of Chavez Ravine is even darker than most people know. After the original Mexican-American residents were evicted with promises of new public housing, the city quietly handed the land to the Dodgers instead. The last families who refused to leave were dragged from their homes on live television in 1959. Their houses were burned to the ground the same day while news cameras rolled. Number 2. In the early 1900s, city officials and private investors secretly bought up water rights in the Owens Valley over 200 miles north of LA, then built the Los Angeles Aqueduct to divert the valley's entire water supply to the growing city. The Owens Lake dried up completely, farms collapsed, and an entire agricultural community was destroyed. Furious residents dynamited the aqueduct multiple times in what became known as the California Water Wars. Number 1. Los Angeles is a sprawling metropolis of nearly 4 million people built in a semi-arid basin that naturally receives less rainfall than Kabul, Afghanistan. It survives only by importing water from hundreds of miles away, sits on top of active earthquake faults, is surrounded by fire-prone hills, and regularly chokes under smog. By every measure of geography and climate, this city should not exist, and yet it is one of the largest and most influential on Earth.